B. Check totaling 360 has been paid into the bank but not yet credited. C. The debit side of the cash book had been undercast by 100 naira. And D. Bank charges of 76 naira had not been entered in the bank. And E. A check for 70 naira had been paid into the bank and credited, but has subsequently been returned disordered. And F. The bank had received dividend of 30 naira but had not yet notified case court. And G. A check drawn for 64 has been entered in the cash book as 46 naira. And lastly, a check drawn for 42 naira by another customer named Case Court has been posted to Case Court account in error. You are required to prepare only bank reconciliation statement. That is 1. 2. Prepare adjusted cash book and bank reconciliation statement. But I will be answering the second one and preparing the adjusted cash book and the bank reconciliation statement. Now, let's solve this question on the board. Let's solve this question on the board with some explanation that I'm going to give out also. So, the name of this account as we speak is Case Court. So I'll write Case Court, adjusted cash book. Please note that this will attract mark for you. Then you have a T form. This is your cash book. This is your cash book. Now, what is the adjusted cash book meant for? Those things you are supposed to put in the cash book originally and you don't post them there. You have to post them there. But the first thing you must always look for is what is the balance of the cash book? What is the balance of the initial cash book given to you? Let's look at this question. We are told here that Case Court cash book showed a debit balance of 1,210. Please, there are explanations around that. They said the cash book showed a debit balance. Look at what I am doing here straight away. 1,210. That's the first thing you must write. Now, take note of this very well. It was because we were told, we were informed that the cash book showed a debit balance. Where is the question? Examiner says the cash book shows a credit balance. Please, you don't bring it to the debit side, but you bring it where? To the credit side. Or where you are told that there is an overdraft, you bring it to the credit side. You just write balance BD, then you write the amount here. But in this question we are solving, in this illustration, we're told that the cash book, that is the previous cash book, showed a debit balance of 1,210. post it here because it's debit balance. Now, in a situation where you are not informed at all whether it is debit or credit, it is possible. So what do? Ensure that the amount is posted to the debit side of the adjusted cash book. Let's read further. We are told that the bank statement shows a balance of 1,194 naira. Credit. Please note that one. 1,194. This is what the bank statement is showing. Now, you will believe with me what I said. You will believe what I said earlier on, that there is need for reconciliation because the balance in our cash book is showing 1,210 and the balance in the bank statement is showing 1,194. So there is need for reconciliation. Sure. Are you with me? So now look at the second instruction. Number 1, check drawn for 42 has not yet been presented for payment. Sometimes they will give you analysis of checks, but in this question we are solving, they were only given 1. Anytime you see unpresented checks, please note it somewhere. Unpresented checks will not come to your cash book, adjusted cash book. Why? It's already in the previous cash book. So if you post unpresented checks to this cash book again, that is double posting and you have committed an error. So what you are supposed to do, anytime you have unpresented checks, just note it, you see, note the amount somewhere. Like in this one, the amount is 420. I will notice somewhere it's not coming to the adjusted cash book. Number 2, check totaling 360 has been paid into the bank but not yet credited. The type of check that we just read is what refers to as uncredited checks. Please also note that whenever you have uncredited checks, it's not an item in the adjusted cash book, but should be noted for the purpose of preparing bank reconciliation statement. This one is unpresented, the uncredited, and the amount for the uncredited is 360 naira. Please also note that somewhere in your answer sheet. I move to C. C says the debit side of the cash book had been undercast by 100. If you have experience with errors and correction of errors that we have done previously, this is now the extension of what you are going to apply. We are told here that the cash book, previous cash book, is undercast on the debit side. So when it's undercast on the debit side, what are you supposed to do? You put the figure there to match up. Is that not so? You put the figure there. Take for instance, you have this, show this, you have this. You are supposed to write 500 here and mistakenly you wrote 400. This is an undercast on the debit side. So if you are told that debit side is undercast by 100 naira, what are you going to do? You will add the 100 naira to it to now meet up to the amount you are supposed to write, which is 500. So anytime you have an undercast, it must be on that side that is undercast. But if it is overcast, you will take it to the other side. Say for instance, I am supposed to write 1,200 here, but mistakenly I wrote 1,500, and I'm supposed to have 1,002 here. These are overcast. The difference 1,500 minus 1,200, which is what? 300. I will now come here overcast. I'll put the 300. At the end of the day, you have a new balance of 1,200. And you have a new balance BD of 1,200. So, anytime you are informed there is an overcast on this side, bring that overcast on the other side. If the overcast is on this side, take the overcast to the other side. That is how to treat overcast. But if it is undercast, leave that difference on that same side. Like in this question now, I read it again. We're told that the debit side of the cash book had been undercast by 100. So this is what I'm going to do. I'll just go to that debit side of the cash book and write undercast. How much is that? 100. I've added it to that figure. It was supposed to be in the previous cash book, but it wasn't there. So that is what we have done now. We have adjusted the cash book to future what is supposed to be there. I move to the next one because of our time. The bank charges of 76 had not been entered in the cash book. Had not been entered in the cash book. What do you now do on the adjusted cash book? Enter it there. And normally bank charges is expenses. It should be on the credit side. So you come here, you write bank charges. So always, anytime you are paying bank constitutional statement, 100% bank charges will always be here. Except if you are told that there is an error in the bank charges, maybe it's overcast, you now take the difference to the other side. If it is undercast, you still remain the difference on this side. But in most cases, bank charges will not be in the previous cash book. It is always in the adjusted cash book you are going to put that. So we have bank charges. How much is bank charges? 76 naira. I move to the next point, which is the next transaction. A check for 70 naira has been paid into the bank and credited, but has subsequently been returned dishonored. That is dishonored check. Dishonored check. How much is that? 70 naira. It has entered the cash book before. You have taken it to the bank. Then the bank has dishonored it. When the bank dishonored it, it comes back to us because we must return it back to the person that has given us the check. Are you with me now? That is why it is dishonored check. Then the next one is the bank has received dividend of 30 naira but not yet notified case call. Now that means it is the bank that received it, so it will be in the bank statement directly. That's what we call credit transfer or direct credit. It's also one of the reasons that cause differences in the cash book and the bank reconciliation, bank statement. So every time you have dividend or credit transfer, you just debit it in the adjusted cash book. That means you write what here, dividend. How much is that now? That is 70 naira. I move to the next point there. A check drawn for 64 has been entered in the cash book as 46. When you draw the check, it means you issue a check. Are you with me? Yeah. Please note that. When you draw a check, it means you issue a check. So the check is supposed to be what? 64. But when they want to enter it in the cash book, they wrote what here? 46. Is this an undercast or overcast? This is an undercast. So what I do now is, what is the difference between 64 and 46? Undercast is 18. Is the difference that I will put here. It's 18 naira. 80 naira. And the last point there, a check drawn for 42 by another customer named Queen's Court had been posted to King's Court in error. Please, this is what we call bank error. When I was explaining earlier on, I did not mention bank error. Please, bank error is part of the causes of difference between the cash book and the bank statement. Please, note bank error there. What is bank error? Why do we call it bank error? It is the bank that have committed that error. And it happens everywhere. It's possible they want to credit somebody's account and they will not credit another person's account. Or they want to debit another person's account, they will not debit another person as well. So that is bank error. Please, when bank error occurs, don't treat bank error in the adjusted cash book. You are going to treat bank error under this in the bank reconciliation statement. I will feel that in the bank reconciliation statement. So at the end of the day, let's total this and let's have a total. When you add this to this 1,210 plus this 1,340. This one also should give us 1,340. What's the addition of all this? 1,000 what? No. Addition of this. 76 plus 70 will give us 146. 164 or 1,340 minus 164. 1,176. That is the new balance we should have in our balance building in the cash book. Should have been 1,176. Now we now prepare the second leg of the question before we stop on this half. As per cash book is what? 1,176.